Good day, everyone. My name is Gabriel C. Rojas, and I will be your instructor. But before we start, may I request everyone to please stand up for our opening prayer. Mr. Caballero, please lead the prayer. Thank you. Please go back to your seat. Again, good day, everyone. I hope all of you are having a great day. Oh, good to hear that. But before we start, please arrange your chairs and sit properly. Now, let me check the attendance to see who is not around today. Please say present when I call your name. Thank you. Now, let's review our past topic. Yes, Mr. Alcaraz? Go ahead. Very good. That's correct, Mr. Alcaraz. Yesterday, we talked about noun. Again, noun is a name of a person, setting, a place, situation, or idea. For the next question, what are the types of nouns that we've discussed yesterday? Yes, Miss Crystalline? Excellent! Those are concrete, collective, abstract, and proper nouns. Next is the motivational activity. Now let's test your skill and creativity by performing the activity I have prepared for all of you. The title of this activity is Enunciate Me. But before that, I want you to stand up and copy the enunciation of the word that I will play in this video. We're just going to copy the movement of the mouth and the tongue and how the speaker enunciate the word. Did you get it? Okay, let's start. The first word is onomatopoeia. Very good, class. Next is photosynthesis. Very good. So that's all for motivational activity. For the presentation, I have here another activity that has a connection for today's topic, a poem. I'll be showing various genres of poem, which are lyric, narrative, and dramatic poetry. And I will ask one of you to choose your preferred genre and explain why. Okay, let's have Miss Hirana. Miss Hirana picked dramatic poetry. So why, Miss Hirana? Wow, very good. Miss Hirana said that dramatic poetry because she loves actions and scene. Also, dramatic poetry tells us an interesting scene and scenario about real life. Wow, thank you, Miss Hirana. That's really interesting. Now, let's proceed for our main discussion. So today, we'll be tackling about a poem, which is No Man is an Island, written by Jonathan. We're going to examine and analyze its message. Now, let's start! So for the first part, let's talk about the author of this poem. So the author of this poem is Mr. John Donne. Mr. John Donne is the leading poet of the metaphysical school and considered as the greatest love poet of the English language. So next, for the information of everyone, allow me to read the poem. No Man is an Island by John Donne. No man is an island, entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent. A part of the man, if a cloud be washed by the sea, Europe is the less. As well as if a manner of the friends, or the thine own wear. Any man's death diminish me, because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never sent to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. Now, let's examine each line. The first 1 to 4 lines. No man is an island, entire of itself. Each is a piece of the continent and a part of the main. Meaning that the speaker begins with a clear and a memorable opening line. He states that no man is an island. No single person is entirely separate from the rest of the world. Every human being is part of a whole. So the next lines are, if a cloud be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as if a manor of thine owned. So in the next quatrain, the conceit is continued. In the lines he adds onto it, saying if the continent lost anything from a promontory to a clod or a minor, that it would be less. This is relating back to human beings on how very loss or death is an injury to the whole. Humans are interconnected with one another and can therefore not afford to be flippant with one another's lives. The last 9 to 14 lines states that in the testet of the final 6 lines of the sonnet, Donne adds onto the statements he made previously by noting that not only your loss is meaningful, but also thine friends. Everyone is injured when one person is. The form then transitions into first person, where the poet addresses himself and his connection to mankind. He speaks of each man's death as diminishing him. He is involved in the workings of humankind. Now, let's identify and examine some of the vocabularies used by the author. So first is the cloud. A cloud is a lump of earth. So, meaning, or according to Donne, that all of us are parts or bits of the planet, wherein all together we can create or make continents such as Europe, Asia. Next is diminish. So diminish means gets less, wherein the poet is saying that humans are reduced or made less important every time someone dies. The next one is tool. A belt, tools, or rings when there is bad news, wherein it is the process of the whole funeral. The last one is tool. So it is a bell, tools, or rings. So it is an indication of bad news because it is a funeral bell telling the Fontac or the village that someone has died. Now, let's talk about the symbolisms, style, and the structure of the poem. First are the symbolism. First is bell tolls. It is actually a poetic shorthand to talk about the whole process of the funeral. The second one is the island. So, island is a symbol of isolation. Next is the style of the poem, or the style being used by the author. So, according to study, it is a pre-verse poem with a set of rhyme which can know extended metaphor relating to death and mankind. Next is the structure. So the structure of No Man is an Island is a 14-line sonnet that does not follow either by the standard sonnet forms. Now, let's discuss the message and the importance of this poem. So, the message of the poem is that humans are connected to each other. Just like the concept of the ecosystem, No organism exists in isolation, wherein no man stands alone in this society, because everyone is interconnected, and we all need the help and the presence of others for us to live better in this world. So, for me, the importance is that we must respect and appreciate and acknowledge the common humanity of everyone. Because at the end of the day, we are here to live and to love one another. So, that's all for our discussion. And for your application, I want you to write a short poem about love. For the generalization, I will ask one of your classmates to share their understanding about the lesson. So yes, Miss Kaduyak, what have you learned about our discussion? Yes, that's really correct. That's really the message of the poem. No one is self-sufficient. Everyone must rely on the company and comfort of others in order to live and thrive. Thank you, Miss Kaduyak. Very good answer. Now, let's summarize the discussion. Again, we discussed about No Man is an Island by Jan Den. Also, we discussed about the symbols. We have the bell, which is the representation of the whole process of the funeral, and the island, meaning an isolation. The structure, which is a 14-line sonnet, and the style, a free verse poem. Again, we also talk about the vocabularies. We have the clause, diminish, and tall. And most importantly, the message, and it's important. Again, the message of the poem is that we are all interconnected or connected to one another. And it's important is that we must respect, appreciate, and acknowledge common humanity. That's all for our discussion. So I hope you learned something. Now, let's proceed to evaluation. So first one is identification. For the instruction, please provide the accurate answer in the space provided. So I have here 4 questions, and all of you need to answer those questions. First one is, who is the author of No Man is an Island? Second, how many lines does No Man is an Island have? Third, what does the word island refers to? And the last one, bell is a symbol of what? Okay. Miss Aguilar, please share your answer. For number 1, who is the author of No Man is an Island? Correct, Jan Dan. For number 2, yes, Mr. Castillo. How many lines? Correct, 14. For number 3, what does the word island refers to? Yes, Miss Garcia? Very good. Isolation is the correct answer. And the last one, bell is a symbol of... Yes, Mr. Kina? A funeral process. Yes, that is correct. Very good, class. Now, let's have another evaluation, which is a true or false. So, write true if the statement is correct, and write false if the statement is wrong. Question number 1. The author of the poem seems to be the speaker. Second, number 2. Jan Den is the greatest and the prominent linguist in the history of English. Number 3. The bell ringing is the symbol of death. And the last one, the poem says that no person can do everything by themselves. Finish? Okay. Mr. Caballero, what is your answer for number 1? The author of the poem seems to be the speaker. Yes, that is true. Number 2. Yes, Mr. Alcaraz? False. Yes, the answer is false because he is not a linguist. He's a poet. It should be a poet. That's why it's false. Number 3. Miss Dating Ginoo, what's your answer? The bell ringing is the symbol of death? Correct! The answer is true. And for the last number, Miss Loreno, what's your answer? Yes, true. Very good. The poem says that no person can do everything by themselves. That is right. Wow, all of you got perfect. Oh, congrats everyone. And for your assignment, I want you to write a one-paragraph reflection about the message of the poem to the society and to humankind. Again, thank you. I am Gabriel Sirahast, and I hope you learned something.